You gotta you have to unmute yourself in the Google now.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
Okay.
There's lots of pew pews and shots fired. I can't wait to edit this so that I can hear the full effect of what you were doing. Just really great Foley work for the both of us.
Totally.
Academy Award.
Totally.
What's up, everybody? My name is Sam, and this is the internet where things happen. And today, a very special episode of this YouTube channel that I do. I've got a very good friend of mine with me. His name's Tyler Nunez.
That's my name.
Asa, dude. That's his name. Asa, dude. What's going on?
Not much. Just hanging out in Bourbon Country, because that's where I live now.
Yeah. Got all moved.
I'm drinking scotch, though, so that's probably...
Is that a betrayal? Is that like a... Will they get you for that up there or out there?
Not if they never find out. So I'm glad this is going on YouTube.
We won't say where so that they can't get you, because this is going to be published. Mm-hmm. And I do have 100 of subscribers. So
yeah.
If you'll recall, last year, getting close to April, Tyler was in my documentary about Zipper the bunny.
the beginning of COVID. That seemed...
Yeah, right at the beginning.
We were so naive. We were like, this is gonna be fun. We can just like hang out for a couple months and make stupid videos about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, and then now here we are almost a year later, and this is just my life now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I wanted to have Tyler on the channel. I've been trying to find we've been talking about like, let's do a video for such a long goddamn time.
Well, it's not even just that. We've like talked about collaborating on projects for like going on a decade now, and it's just like never
time immemorial.
Quite materialized.
Like it's been. God, it's just been. It's
we've
just been
like done
years.
like pilot episodes of like multiple podcasts that never got off the ground.
You remember the sport
Yeah, I don't remember what the So the idea is like, so I was a sports reporter until like a year ago. Yeah. And I'm pretty nerdy, but like not as nerdy as Sam. And Sam kind of likes sports, but obviously he's way nerdier. And the idea was like I would bring like sports news to the table, and he would bring like geek news to the table, and some like convoluted effort to be like, look, sports pros and jocks can be friends with geeks. But like obviously, like I'm no jock. Like I'm just as much of a nerd.
It's just like you're just like a nerd about something else, you know?
Right, which was kind of the heart of the idea. But yeah, it just never I think part of it is we've never lived in the same time zone, so that's always been difficult. And then like we just live like different lives. Like I was like I said, I was a sports journalist, and I never have evenings off when you do that. So
like every time we would try to do something or like get something off of the ground, it just never worked out because like all of this shit, right? So
it's just like hard.
So it's just been a constant saga of like wanting to do things and then never. And then we had like that other podcast that was basically like I did the Geek Time podcast for such a long time, and when we decided to do a podcast that we did an episode of that was literally just that, except us being dumb.
Yeah,
together.
To put this like in perspective, I'm pretty sure like I went on a rant about like the Coney 2012 shit.
You did, yeah, you did. I remember.
So like that's how long this has been going on. I like completely forgot about that, but like yeah. Then there was like we wanted to do like a faux like audio professional wrestling promotion at one point.
Yeah, we did. I remember I'd come up with this like idea, like, hey, I want to do like a podcast where it's like a radio show because wrestling has been outlawed and they have to do it like underground. And like, I want to
like
just
basically just like meets wrestling, meets like podcasting, I guess, like storytelling podcasting, which is an interesting idea. But the amount of work that would have been necessary to make the cost benefit analysis on that just did not that didn't play.
Right. So that
we had to like come up with like a bunch of different like wrestling characters and stuff. It was a fun idea. It was fun to like pitch things around. Like, I'm glad you had that idea because we played around with it for like months.
Oh yeah, and it was fun. It was like fun to do, but like all of this to say, it makes sense that it's taken us like almost a year to decide what kind of video we wanted to do.
Yeah, this is like our entire relationship. It's like we should do a thing, and like, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And they were excited about it, and then it like never materialized.
It just never, and it never happens. Whether it's like, and we're both guilty of being the reason why it doesn't happen. So it's just like whatever. But like it's been like that for such a long time because we've known each other for like it's 10 years now, if not going on. Like it's very close, like. Yeah. Plus or minus 10 years.
Yeah, so I moved to Baton Rouge like 10 years ago last month. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think me and you met like a few months later. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's basically 10 years. Like we're getting there.
So we've been friends for a very long time. And our friendship has basically almost exclusively existed on the internet.
Yeah. We met on Tiny Chat.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Dan.
So that's kind of what. So Tyler had this idea that was just like, you know what we should do for a video? Let's talk about our friendship, how it's evolved over the last decade, and basically the power of the internet. And it feels like a very topical thing to discuss, especially right now with the way the world is at the moment. And so that's kind of that's kind of where it started because we met on Tiny Chat, but it was like that was when we started to become friends through Sarcastic Gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so how did you find Sarcastic Gamer?
Dude, okay, so like I had been lurking Sarcastic Gamer for like years prior to that. I think the original thing that turned me on to it is like I was of the age that everyone watched G4 TV, like any nerdy teenager, like that was like one of the only TV stations that really resonated with us.
That was all you watched, and everybody had a crush on Olivia Munn or Morgan Webb. You were a Morgan Webb guy, or you were an Olivia Munn guy.
I was an Attack of the Show fan. Like I still love Attack of the Show. I'm really looking forward to it coming back, even though I know it's going to be terrible.
For sure. Well, fucking Woods is going to be on G4.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope it works out. It's a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope it works. But that being said, I think they had a segment, like they did like an around the internet thing, and they mentioned, I believe, Sarcastic Gamer used to kind of, their bread and butter was at the very beginning were like parody videos, and they did one on what Microsoft Surface was at the time, which we know them now as tablets, but at the time they were big ass tables. They're like you'll be able to order on your phone, and like they did like Doc, who like went on to found
Extra
Life, which great organization if you haven't heard of it.
Yeah, think about that huge.
But he like did this voiceover for it, and it was hilarious. I'm like, oh, that's funny. And like as a result, like I like kind of discovered it and like saw the forums, but like never participated because I was like way too like insecure to do so. But I like lurked them, and then I listened to the podcasts for a long time. And then like 5-6 years later, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna like as this forum is starting, and forums in general are starting to die out. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna like kind of pop in and like start saying stuff. And so yeah, I did that, and then I started hopping in Tiny Chats. Where I met a bunch of cool people. The coolest of which was Sam.
Excited. I don't want to let this go because it's a little side. I saw about the Surface, like the tablet stuff. I saw this post that I made years ago when Apple first announced the iPad, And like you think about it now, and like the iPad is such a staple thing.
We thought it was so much. Stupid. We thought it was the dumbest idea.
It's like, oh, they're making a big ass iPod. They're gonna call it the iPad. Like
and no one is innocent in this. Everyone thought this was the stupidest
everybody
idea
thought
ever.
It was stupid.
You know what we weren't thinking about? Moms. Moms.
We weren't thinking about the moms.
Carried that product to the moon. Because a mom saw that and like, wait, I can just like surf the web on my like right here. They're like, it's like a little mini laptop for like a tenth the price. Who knew? But yeah, all of us who had laptops were like, why wouldn't I just use a laptop?
Exactly. But now, like I have an iPod specifically for writing. Like that's like it's great. But yeah. So but I found Sarcastic Gamer the same, like generally the same way. Because it was they did parody videos, and I remember the one that I saw was about Killzone. When Killzone 2 was coming out, they made a parody video about like who's asking for more Killzone 2.
That's
and
right.
It was a song. They did parody songs, and I came onto the forums to be like, I want Killzone 2 because I'm a Sony fanboy as long as I can fucking remember. And so that's when I jumped on the forums, and again, I met a ton of people that I'm friends with now to this day. That you've seen, like Jordan Carroll, I met on Sarcastic Gamer. Like this YouTube channel doesn't happen unless I meet Jordan Carroll on Sarcastic Gamer and do Geek Time, and then do Metal Gear Mondays, and then do YouTube. Like the timeline of things is insane.
I generally don't give it enough credit, but like Geek Time was like a space for me to like write about things before I like became a writer for a living.
I think I'm realizing that like even though Geek Time was in itself kind of a failed experiment. Sorry, Jordan, that's but even though it was kind of a failed experiment, it like I think it bolstered several people to like do things going forward, because I know it helped me. I know it helped you. It helped Alessio. It helped Jordan in the end. Like it helped a lot of people like express themselves and branch out a little bit.
Yeah. I remember I wrote some story about like a monopolization of like sports video games, which I'm sure if I read now I would cringe into eternity, because my writing and like my opinions have obviously grown over the last like decade. But it was really cool to be like just be able to publish something online and then like show it to people I knew. So that was neat, and then I ended up doing that for a living for like 8 years. Yeah. So that was really neat. And then me and you ended up publishing like a magazine for like.
Yeah, we did like we were trying to like come up with like creative ways to make like the whole the buzzword for me and Jordan and Alessio at the time was niche. We need to find a niche. Yeah. We need to be different. We need to be unique. And we were like, let's make it a webzine for like 2 issues, and then we went back to what we were doing. And I remember there was one style of like article in that webzine where like 2 writers would have an argument about things. Like, and I remember you did one about the Academy Awards.
Yeah, I mean, Alessia. Yeah. And then I also wrote like an entire like breakdown of the Academy Awards, like for like every award from like favorites to like long shots to dark horses. Like, or to like no shots. And it was just like looking back, I'm like, I cannot believe I put that much like time and effort
into the fucking Academy Awards. Because think about how you feel about the Academy Awards now compared to then.
Dumb.
Like again.
Although, hey, look, shouts to fake. Credits where credits due. Like of this like entire like pit like this last year, Bong Joon-ho like owning the Oscars last year was honestly like
badass.
One of it was probably the highlight of 2020. Like, it kind
of made the Academy Awards worth it for that moment.
Yeah, like that was great. So I wasn't too mad. Someone's directing the Oscars this year. It's supposed to be like really interesting.
Oh yeah?
I cannot remember who it is.
Steven Soderbergh.
That's it. Yeah, Soderbergh.
Yes.
Baton Rouge Pride, baby. Let's go.
I like Soderbergh. He's got some good shit.
Yeah. Sex, Lies, and Videotape. Come on. It's a great movie. Magic Mike.
Magic Mike is good. Have you seen Logan Lucky?
Yes. Surprisingly good. I think if that movie had a different name, it would have been way more popular.
I think so too. I think because I watched it. I watched it for the first time like a week ago with Chelsea, and it was like we really enjoyed it. Like it was a fun movie. And when did we meet in person for the first time?
That would have been spring break of 2012 or 2013.
Yeah,
2013. Yeah.
Because we met shortly. I want to say shortly after I graduated. No, it was 2013. Yeah, no, it would have been like a year or two after I graduated high school because you drove up from Louisiana.
Yeah, me and my girlfriend at the time did spring break in Cincinnati, which sounds hilarious.
Well, it does sound very hilarious.
Like Palm Springs or whatever.
It's like I'm going to Cincinnati, Ohio.
We were
her
really
sister,
looking,
right?
Yeah, her sister lived there at the time, and we were just really looking to get for an excuse to get away from where we were at the time for a various number of reasons. Her sister lived there at the time, and we were able to just kind of like hang out and chill in a different place for a week, and it was really nice. But you were in Dayton, so you're like a short hour car ride away, and my sketched out girlfriend
she's like, really?
Bore with me for like a half a day to drive up to go hang out with you.
For like an hour.
It was like a couple hours, I think. Yeah, it was a long time because she was like very like uncomfortable with the entire situation, but she knew it meant a lot to me, so I wanted to do it.
Because we met up and we met up and we went to the Dairy Queen in Englewood, Ohio for lunch. We went to Dairy Queen.
No, we didn't go to Dairy Queen. We ate pizza.
Yeah, we did. Did we have? Oh, that's right. No, did we go? No. Who did I go to Dairy Queen with? Yeah, no, we went to
some pizza place that
it was a local place that did thin crust pizza, and Kevin Davis is going to crucify me for forgetting what this fucking place is called. Because it's like my favorite pizza place in Dayton, but it's whatever. Marion's Pizza. We went to Marion's. That's right. God, sorry, Kevin. But we went to Marion's. We had some pizza, and then there I'll post the picture.
Yeah, we took a
couple like really nerdy picture in the driveway of where I lived at the time, and we're just like like with our arms crossed.
That's right. I got to go to your house for a little bit.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that you didn't come inside.
I think we like were in your living room for like a very short amount of time.
I think probably because it was that short amount of time, and then we took the pictures in the driveway, and then you had to leave. So we were like all told, like we hung out for like an hour and a half. Maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't a long time.
Right? It wasn't.
And Sam was third wheeling over here because my girlfriend at the time was there.
Yeah. So, it was what it was. It was cool to like see you, but like it was just like it was so bizarre and quick. And that was like the first and last time we saw each other until
like last year.
Until
I moved to
December.
Kentucky.
Until was it did we see it was after New Year's, right?
It must have been.
It was definitely after Christmas.
Yeah, I moved here. It was like a couple days after I moved here. Like literally like I had been in Kentucky for like less than a week, and then I drove up, and you were in town to hang out with your parents, or with your family.
Because I'd moved out to Seattle, obviously, and I flew out for Christmas. And
the irony!
The irony! And then he drove up from Kentucky, and we went to go see a wrestling show. Yeah,
which like long time bucket list for both of us to go see a wrestling show
together. Yeah, so that was really cool. But it's been kind of like this weird like roller coaster of a journey. And the thing about us and our friendship is that like we'll like talk incessantly for like a couple of days, and then we'll just like forget for like a week to talk to each other.
Like it's one of those things like we know like each other's always there, so like it's like like we don't have to go out of each other's way to like speak to each other. It's just like always like there. It's and like I don't know, like I think both of us currently are. It used to be we talked every day. We talked every day for like there were years like where we talked pretty much every day. But I think recently both of us have like kind of reached new stages in our lives. Like I said, I just moved to Kentucky. I recently got engaged. I'm in grad school trying to start a new career. And then Sam, a few years ago, you moved to Seattle. You're in a new career. You're trying to like progress through that. You have a new girlfriend. So I think that like, you know, regular life stuff kind of does that to people.
Yeah, but that's the thing about it is that like, I feel like we're growing up. I don't feel like, even though we don't talk as much as we used to, I don't feel like we've grown apart, because it's one of those things where it's just like, one of us will send the other one some dumb shit, and then we'll just go off. Yeah. And then it'll just be like, we haven't. Yeah. And then it's fine. But like, cause like, that's the thing is like a lot of people, that's the thing about friendship is that a lot of people think that you have to talk to your like friends, like constantly for it to be worth anything. And that's not true. No, that's not the case. Especially
when you live like an entire country apart, which has been the case for like most of our friendship. It's just like,
because when I was in Ohio, you were in Louisiana, obviously. And then I moved to fucking Washington, which is even further. And then you moved up to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Which it's fucking hilarious, because when you move to a place that's actually like a reasonable drive to where I would have been in Ohio, I'm like across the country now.
Yeah. So and my fiance's, my future brother-in-law, they're moving to Seattle now.
Really? Well, you have another reason to visit.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've been wanting to go to Seattle for like a long time, even before you got there. So we're gonna make that trip eventually. Whenever I don't have to worry about like dying by getting on a plane.
That's pretty critical.
A little bit more realistic.
Yeah, pretty critical. Hopefully the vaccines are coming. Hopefully that'll be something.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's always been great having you right there, because like I always know that like. If I send you a message on Facebook, like, unless you're just like swamped, I'm probably gonna get a message back. If not, like, immediately, at least within like 24 hours. Like, that's like like the minimum. Business guarantee. And if it goes like 24 hours, it's like very rare. Like normally it's like within an hour, and then we're just like chatting.
And the same with you. Like I know like maybe it'll take like an hour or two, but you'll usually get back to me, and then we'll just go back and forth. I feel like. Recently, most of our conversations start with, "Have you seen AEW yet? Have you watched the Royal Rumble yet?"
That's to me, yeah, because like I've fallen off the wrestling train recently.
Which is like it's like right now is like the worst time to fall off the wrestling train.
I know, it's tough. It's tough when you like start living with a woman who just like could not care,
doesn't give a fuck,
any less, like just not into it at all. And like it's so much that it's like it's not even worth trying. So like it's just understandable. Like it's not for everyone, obviously.
Yeah, it's a very specific niche of thing to enjoy.
Right. If I weren't into wrestling, I would look at someone who was into wrestling and be like, "That's kind of a weird thing." So like I totally get it.
I have convinced Chelsea to watch a Royal Rumble with me. She seems interested in the idea of like watching a Royal Rumble with me, just because it seemed like an interesting concept to her. So I might.
I think that's a good like starting point. I think it's like an inherently intriguing like kind of angle.
Yeah, and they stay exciting generally.
Yeah, it's easy to follow. Like, I mean, it's not you're gonna be overwhelmed with like the amount of people that are just like hopping up. But, But other than that, like it's like a fun thing. It's just kind of like an inherently fun thing. I know people who haven't watched wrestling in years, but they still watch Royal Rumble every year
because it's just fun. So speaking of wrestling though, that's kind of like was the thing that really bonded us like as friends at the because
Not really at the beginning. That was at the midway point.
Do you think it was at midway? Like when did I started watching wrestling when I was young. And like when my dad was like when he had to work like nights, they had like replays on the TV and I would watch like old episodes of like Raw and SmackDown and stuff, and I got into wrestling at a younger age. And I kind of like kept watching it because like for a lot of people like wrestling is something that you watch when you're a kid and then you kind of like fall off of it. And
once you realize it's fake, it's kind of like a. But like for you and me, like the fact that it was fake was always like the point.
Well, that was the intriguing part about it too, because like I've always loved writing, and so I'm like at heart like I love stories, I love storytelling, and so the fact that it was fake became the intriguing part of it.
Right, exactly. So like that was me as a kid. I was like, wait, there's this. So I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling as a kid. So much so that I once had a TV taken away from me because I got caught watching it without my parents' permission.
That happened to me with Yu-Gi-Oh! Because my stepmom at the time saw like the eye pop up in its head. She's like, that's the devil. And then took it away from me.
I got a similar reason. Sorry, Mom and Dad, if you're saying this. But it intrigued me. So I didn't watch it like as a very young kid. I was probably like in 5th grade when I watched my first wrestling show because it just wasn't like available to me. But but everyone's like, oh, you know it's fake, and I was just like, wait, that's like awesome. like there's a bunch of people like putting on a stage play, like pretending to beat the hell out of each other every night, or like what? Like
it's a soap opera with violence.
Yeah, I was like, this is amazing. Like this is all I've ever asked for in a TV show.
Yeah,
like, it's something that's been going on for like 20 years. Now 30. I was just like, this is everything I want. And so whenever I became an adult, I actually just like started watching it.
Because like, what was the cat? Because I know you started watching it because like I was like we talked about it, right? But I can't remember what was it like. I can't remember what it might have been when Brock came back in 2012 because you were into UFC. And the idea of Brock going back to WWE, I think, intrigued you. I think that might have been
that was definitely part of it. I was also a big like Undertaker fan, so the fact that he came back and was like messing with Undertaker was also like super intriguing. But like the real thing that did it, which like not to give Vince McMahon too many props because I don't like Vince McMahon as a human being, but like the creation of the WWE network was like kind of a big thing.
Yeah,
because, like it was just like
it was huge.
An immense amount,
watch all the old stuff.
Yeah, and an immense amount of content that was just like at your fingertips. You could just watch whatever you wanted. So it was
which like that whole deal where where the network's gonna be on the Peacock now.
Yeah,
like that's fucking great for me
because you have Peacock.
I have the Peacock for free with my internet provider with Xfinity. So like I just get to watch wrestling for free now. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I don't have Peacock. I actually bought an entire box set of The Office just to avoid getting Peacock because I was so mad that they took it off of Netflix.
We'll talk after.
Piece of shit streaming service.
We'll talk after. Winked.
But yeah, that just kind of like opened up like a lot of doors. Like I got really into like New Japan, and I got like really into indie wrestling for a little bit. I was really looking forward to moving to Louisville because like there's like a big wrestling scene just like in and around here. Like there's a lot of wrestling shows that happen like it just like in this belt of like the Midwest.
Because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you become a wrestler, you like get into heroin,
or
you leave.
Well, you might do all three of those things.
Luckily,
I live in like one of the bigger cities in this middle of nowhere area.
But yeah, there was like a period of time where you were like more into it than I was too.
Probably
because you would watch like and New Japan and WWE and all the stuff like way more. Like you were the one who were asking me if I had watched like X show at that point in time. So it kind of like flipped for a bit.
Then I got a girlfriend.
Flip back. Yeah,
that ruins everything. Yeah, when you're single, you could just like do that, right? You could just like devote your entire life to like this like one topic and become like an expert on it, which is like something I've done like throughout my entire life. It's just like I would like find one point of interest and just like zone in on it. It was like different kinds of music for a long time. It's obviously sports for a while, like wrestling. So yeah, that was my thing for a while, and then I met Kate, and I don't really have time to watch it as much anymore.
Well, it's actually funny, and I do want to like throw this out there before I say this because I'm not complaining. I do want to stress this. I'm not complaining. That happened to me with anime too, because I don't watch as much wrestling as I used to, but it definitely happened with anime because I started watching like in quarantine. I started like watching a fuck ton of anime, and I binge watched like the first like 100-something episodes. I like caught up to Black Clover where it was at the time in like a week. And then I went and I actually had like a day where I had nothing to do. I had nothing to record. I wasn't hanging out with Chelsea. I wasn't doing anything. And so I was just like, I'll catch up on Black Clover. And I had 7 episodes of Black Clover to catch up on. I missed 7 weeks of that shit. So
it
happens
very fast.
Happen.
Yeah, it happens very fast.
Yeah, it was very fast.
Now I'm like becoming an expert on the Bachelor Nation. So
yeah. It's actually really funny because like I don't really talk about work on the channel for obvious reasons, but the current Bachelor, Matt, works for the same company that I do.
Oh yeah, that's right. You told me about that.
Yeah, and so it's actually really funny because
I think Matt's cute. I think Matt is like a really he seems to be like a good guy. He's like an adorable Bachelor.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the TikTok that I saw the other day that was like, oh, Matt's weird, and I like that.
Matt is weird. Matt's weird, and I do disagree with some of his decisions. He just booted my girl Katie off. I'm not very happy about that. Katie did nothing wrong. # send it in. Katie needs to be the next Bachelorette. That's all I'm saying. Okay, all right. You hear that, Chris Harrison? Make it happen.
Yeah. I know nothing about it, so the vice that I've been getting into because of my girlfriend has been Love Island. So
that's man,
yeah,
that show is a lot. That show
is a lot, but
a lot. Are you watching one like live, or are you like binge watching?
No. We're watching Love Island UK. I kind of like jumped in the middle of it, and it's like the middle of like season 5 of Love Island UK.
Yeah, I think it was during the pandemic. It was either during the pandemic, like the early part of the pandemic, or like right before everything kind of kicked off. Kate and I watched the first season of Love Island Australia, and yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's so many episodes. It kind of reminds me of like the first season of Big Brother, where it's just like way too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like how like the meme about The Bachelor's like you're here. I make sure you're here for the right reasons. Is like that's the meme. The meme for like Love Island, at least for the UK season, is just like I won't get my head turned by someone.
Yeah,
I won't get my head turned.
Yeah,
like fucking stop. Because yes, you are.
Can you believe we've gone this far? And like the lack of LGBT representation in these shows is phenomenal to me. Because like you would think a show, especially like Love Island, like a bisexual Love Island, would be
that would be chaos,
incredible
like,
television,
the fucking like drama.
Like even if like that's not your thing, like think about it. Like think about the drama that would ensue. It would be amazing. Yeah. Like it'd be incredible. And like even if it's not like bisexual, like if it's just like if you go like okay, we're gonna have a lesbian season of Love Island. Yeah,
like,
I just don't know why this hasn't happened yet.
Because like lesbian and like gay and like straight and like that, like the drama of the different like orientation is completely different.
Right, it changes the entire dynamic, right?
It does, it completely, and it would be so interesting and so fucking fresh. Imagine a Bachelorette, but like it's all women.
Yeah,
or a Bachelor that's all men. Like that would be amazing.
Oh, it'd be so good. It'd be so.
That would be the season of the Bachelor. That would be the season of The Bachelor that I would watch.
I mean, I watch a lot of Survivor, and like gay characters like make that show sometimes. I mean, the first winner of it was Richard Hatch, who's famously gay and walked around naked and stuff. Not exactly the best representation in the world, but they're just like having gay characters because like the fun of that is like they put like gay characters. Not so much anymore, but they used to like take gay characters with like backwoods country people who had never left their hometown. And like never met an openly gay person, and then they like, oh, I guess we're friends. This is kind of tight, and he'd be like kind of endeared, but then like the other person would like say something like, we're probably gonna let's just like forget he said that. But like that's like the fun part of that. But like with like making it a dating show, like complete like the dynamics of that is just like come on.
It's just it's waiting for the ratings. Like it's just like. That's why we need to get into television. This could be our next idea that we do that never gets anywhere.
So, like, that's been pitched like a million times, right? Like,
it has to have been. I just I don't know what. If I was a fucking NBC executive,
It's
an ABC.
The problem is they're on NBC and ABC. If they were like owned by like if cable company had the rights to like Love Island or The Bachelor, it probably would have been done already. But like with cable TV, they have to like play to like the family crowd still. And I don't think that. I guess. I'm not sure. There are certain sects of America, many of which I've lived in, that aren't quite ready for that.
Not ready for it, or like the advent of like Netflix could do it, or like
I can't believe Netflix hasn't done it actually. Because they've been doing these dating shows. Like,
how did we get here?
I have no idea. This is generally how it goes.
Well, this is like you've opened up a window into like our exact friendship. It's like us like talking shit about all kinds of shit. Sometimes like one of us will just send paragraphs of just like to like almost a savant level describing like something that we're interested in or like trying to explain something. The most recent one I think was you trying to explain the whole like Robinhood like GameStop debacle with me. And it was just like, hold on.
Only because I hate everyone's take on it. Everyone's.
Yeah. Well, because it was just like,
I was mostly venting. I really wasn't trying to describe anything. I was just like mad at
it was venting.
I was mad at the entire world over this GME stock because of the amount of misinformation that got spread.
Yeah. It was just like, because I'll show the screen, but like this is kind of like how it goes. And it goes like this on my side too. But it's just like, this is like paragraphs, one sentence, paragraphs, one sentence, paragraphs, like a little paragraph. And then it just kind of like goes like that. So like, that's just kind of like, it's either like short, like pop, 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 or it's that like, okay. From either end.
All right. Yeah.
Well, we had another one that was like that from my end, like literally right before that, where I was talking about the Mass Effect remaster and how I think I had to cancel Garrus. And like it was just this whole like it was this whole thing. So that's kind of just like how our friendship.
Yeah, that's the other part of it too. Is like I get to like bounce like a ton of ideas off of you, especially like artistically. We get to like explore like our thoughts on like a lot of things like that, and like people who you can do that with or like feel comfortable doing with that are kind of like few and far between.
Yeah, it's rare, and you like I feel like like hold on to those people.
Yeah. Because
I feel like the way that our friendship is, like, we never like judge each other for like anything.
No, we've been friends for like 10 years, and I don't think we've ever really had a fight. Like we've had like minor disagreements, like even including on that Garrus thing. I was like, I really need to go rewatch that because I'm not sure I completely agree with your assessment. But like,
and I think I said the exact same thing where it's just like I might even be wrong about like about his arc. Like I need to play it again to see it. But we've never really had like an argument or anything that's like shut us down for longer than like a minute maybe, because we always like bounce back to a place of like parity and agreement at the end of it all.
Yeah.
So it's a good dynamic. I think we have a good dynamic.
I think so too.
So and that's kind of like the power. Like it's this thing is just like think about like. I talk about this with Chelsea a lot, but like think of like all of the stupid fucking decisions that had to have been made for us to meet the way we did, and then for like this friendship to continue the way it has.
Yes.
It's just like imagine like we would like if one of us wasn't interested in Sarcastic Gamer, we never would have met.
No.
Like if you think about that, like we would just have gone in our separate directions. And
or if one of us just like didn't like care enough,
we would have never known.
Gamer, that's like only listen to the podcast, or like never like got into like a tiny chat, which is like looking back now is like what was I thinking? Like going into this like chat room of absolute strangers.
Yeah, it was super weird because like. Because I remember the tiny chat where we met, like initially, it was just like it was like a few people from Sarcastic Gamer, and then like us, some other Sarcastic Gamer, and then my friend Amanda.
Yeah, she randomly. Yes, yeah. I don't know how she ended up with that. Yeah,
I don't either.
I don't know. There was like some degenerate stuff going on too, though. Like that was like
there's a weird like young
I'm
adult.
so glad that there's no record of those like existing.
There's literally
there's God.
Fuck. I'm sure like you know what I bet like Regua has like some like weird stuff, and then he's just like saving it for like 20 like when one of us has like a political career or something. It's like I would never be able to have a political career. This YouTube channel is like prevents that from ever happening, but But yeah, like this like fucking degenerate tiny chat led to this 10-year, probably lifelong friendship that I have, which is like, you know, one of my like most treasured friendships, you know, and it's insane. I know a lot of people that I would consider great friends, like wonderful friends, that I met on the internet and have only met like a handful of times. Cole, I've known Cole now for 2 years and met him for the first time back in January. And like,
I like looking at the pictures of that was cute.
Yeah. And that was like that's one of my good friends now too. And it's just like, it's amazing. The internet's such an amazing tool for connecting people. Yeah. It's such like a powerful thing, and for like meeting people. And like, it's fucking trash sometimes.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, disclaimer, like, don't just like hop into random like group chats. Like, try and
like make like friends. your mileage may fucking vary. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You might end up like in some really weird situations. I think both of which probably both have at some point in our internet history. Just like, who am I talking to? I'm gonna bail.
It's just so weird.
Like we actually know who each other are, but everyone's been in that rabbit hole of the internet, or like at least like YouTube, and you're like, how did I end up at this place?
Where am I now? This is insane. This is weird. I don't like it.
So like, don't go on Omegle and try to like make friends.
Omegle might be the last place. You might see more penises than you see friends.
Oh man, those places are terrible.
Terrible. But it's just like I don't know. It's just like it's funny, right? Because like when you're growing up, when you're a kid, it's just like the lesson is like, don't talk to strangers. Don't trust strangers. Don't get into a car with strangers.
Well, the internet was so new when we were growing up that like, those chat rooms, like the stories that you saw in chat, like you only heard about chat rooms like on Dateline, like about in the stories about like how girls got murdered by like pedophiles that were trying to sleep with them. It's like terrible. Chris Hansen. Like these terrible things.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Please take a seat.
When you're like a lonely 20-year-old and like the entire internet is like right there, then sometimes I don't know. Yeah. It worked out for me. I ended up getting like a best friend out of it. So
but like not even that too. It's like because like, and then again, like, don't get in car with strangers, but then we like pay strangers to take us places.
Yeah.
And it's just like specifically like, you know, like taxis were a thing at the time, like years ago, but now we have like Uber and Lyft and things like that, and it's just like that's the thing. It's just like this whole like web of connections stuff, and like dating too. It's just like a lot of people are like embarrassed to like talk about how if they met somebody on an app, but like that's how people meet now. Yeah. Like that's just how people meet each other.
I don't understand like how you do. How do you meet people outside of that? Because like
even before the pandemic.
Yeah, because if I'm working, like I go to work. Like, do I meet people at the bar? Like I did used to do that. Like I have a lot of barfly friends. But like those aren't people I want to like date generally.
Yeah, I met like one person at a bar one time, and I was just like, this is weird. And like, I don't have the fucking confidence to like ask for like a number or something like that. I think when I met that person, I was like, hey, can I like add you on Facebook? Is that cool?
Oh no. That's not good.
It was really bad.
That's not good.
It was really bad. I was like the most awkward, like 24-year-old.
I mean, I used to hang out at bars a lot, and I have some like really great. I'm not trying to like disparage my friends at bars. Like I have like some of my best friends, like are the bartenders that I met there, and like friends that I met there. But like also, if you're going to a bar like several times a week, you're generally like not in the best place you've ever been in your life, myself included at that time. So
that's fair.
You know, like generally it's a bunch of broken people trying to either unbreak themselves in a very unproductive way or just like further break themselves.
Yeah, I just like, it was just one of those things where it's just like, I don't know, it's like the generation before us and like Gen X and like the boomers and stuff, that like met their high school sweethearts at like the Sadie Hawkins dance and like that,
or like you could go to the mall and like meet
that's just like the world's kind
like
of
a place you
could
socialize.
But like we don't really have that anymore. It's just like the way that like people have evolved. It's just like,
yeah, we all stay at home and we go to work and then we go home and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And like the internet has become like the social, like where people socialize.
Yeah. And that's where people meet each other.
For better or worse. It's just kind of where we're at.
Yeah. We've adopted technology in such a way that it's just like, this is life now. Yeah. So like, it's like people who are embarrassed by like meeting their like partner on like an app, like a dating app, like, you know, that's just the internet. That's how our generation meets people sometimes. It's like, and you'll have that like rare opportunity where like you do meet somebody in public or like a friend introduces you to a friend of a friend or whatever. But like, you know, I met Chelsea on an app. Like that's kind of just how
I met Kate on Bumble.
Yeah.
I mean, like she works like 60 hours a week. So like we would have never, ever, ever met otherwise. So
in real life, like, there's no way. And the same thing with Chelsea. It's just like
I'm getting married.
Our schedules are so like, our schedules are so weird and different, and like we live like far enough away from each other. There's like we would have never ran into each other in real life, like ever.
No.
So it's just like it creates the internet, like as much as like it can be like a tool for evil and like trash, like it opens ways for like people to meet that. And connect in ways that like we never thought was possible.
I think it's like really popular to like shit on the internet and like demonize social media, but it really is kind of like incredible what it's been able to like facilitate. There are obvious like downsides, like probably not a good idea to like be like I know I go on Twitter like I need to get some likes so like I can get that dopamine in, like, you know what I mean, like, and that's terrible. I should not do that. I'm actually trying to stop. Like there are obviously like bad tropes that you can fall into with the internet, but like the fact that me and you have been able to remain friends over the course of 10 years despite never living in the same city, the fact that I've been able to find a fiance and you have a girlfriend that you met from what questions for duos?
No, I was
Oh no!
Sorry, I was looking for a TikTok because I was gonna jump onto your story about
it's like the fact that like we've been able to like make all these connections and maintain these connections, right? Like how many times in high school or like middle school did you go like to camp and you met someone and then you never saw them again? Like our kids are never gonna have to worry about that. Like they can maintain friendships with those people because like social media exists. If both sides really want to maintain that friendship, that'll be possible. So or like whenever I was growing up, like if a friend moved away. Like you never saw them. I just never saw them again. Like that was it. Like I don't know where those people are now.
They're like there's like a shit ton of like because like when I like because that was the other thing too is that like my dad was in the military, so we traveled, you know, like admittedly not as much as like some other families did, but like I have like a couple of people that I knew in middle school and high school when I was in England that I still like kind of keep in touch with. Kind of,
right?
But I don't know where 95% of those people are, what they're doing anymore. Like it's just they're just in the wind. And like if I would have like that's the thing is that like younger millennials, Gen Z have is that like they have the social media to keep track of those people if they want to, and it's kind of beautiful in a way.
Yeah. No. Again. I love the fact that like this exists, right? Like again, for all of its like pitfalls and negative aspects, the fact that it like one bad comment about something that's not even related to you can ruin your entire day. Like I don't know, like the upside is also like worth looking at. I think that the fact that these things exist, for every Donald Trump that is out there tweeting about nonsense, there's like a million people tweeting or like posting like incredible things. Like this platform YouTube is like the most incredible thing that humans have ever achieved, in my opinion. Like I don't like people look at me weird when I tell them that like the vast majority of like the content I consume is on YouTube. But the fact that like we basically get millions of indie movies or like commentaries uploaded and like shoved into our face every day that we get like an unlimited amount to watch. It's just absolutely incredible. Like we've never seen anything like it's a revolution of art. Like
when I say that I have YouTube Premium, people look at me weird.
Yeah, no, it's the best investment I've ever made.
Seriously, like not even like just like because I try. So when I first I did the free trial of YouTube Premium, And I was like, this is cool having no ads, but I don't really need it. And so I let it lapse. And then the first time I watched a 30-minute video with ads, I was like, fuck this. Take my $10. Take my $10.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's the worst. So, like, and, like, every time, like, I watch a video with some, like, whenever Chelsea, like, plays a video and she has an ad, I'm just like,
how do you live like this? I got YouTube Red like the moment it came out, and it had nothing to. You know what it really was for me? It had nothing to do with like the content creators. It wasn't even really the ad thing. It was the ability to lock my phone and the audio.
I still have the video play in the background.
Yes, that was it. I was just
it's great.
Yes.
So good. Yeah. Oh my God.
And I've never gotten rid of it. I've had it for like as long as YouTube Red has existed.
Years.
I've had the premium version of YouTube.
There is 1 week of time. Not even a week. There's like 3 days of time since YouTube Red has been a thing that I did not have YouTube Red. And that was that moment where I was just like, I don't need it. And then 3 days later, I was just like, fuck this, I need it. So it's a great investment.
Just like the amount of like content, and like a lot of it's trash, but like, and you have to like learn how to sift through it. But just like the amount of like incredible people doing absolutely insane things. And just like the ability to just like upload it like that it's incredible.
Can you imagine watching a ContraPoints video and having to watch an ad in the middle of it?
No. To be fair, I don't know if she does mid-roll ads. Natalie, if you do mid-roll ads, please don't do that. I know you have to get paid, but like you have a large impassioned plea. You have a huge Patreon, and you upload like once a month.
I don't think she does, but like that's like an idea. Like she'll put out like hour and a half long videos sometimes. It's just like I cannot imagine like having to pause an hour long video like watching like an ad for a fucking Galaxy phone. Like fuck that.
Yeah, I don't think it probably doesn't even play very well in those like leftist spheres either. Like I know that like Twitter lefties like get really really mad about when content creators like make any money. So like putting ads on a video is probably like asking for just like a raid of Twitter people just screaming at you. But yeah, like her and like H Bomber guy does like some of the coolest media analysis videos out there. I'm obsessed with Jenny Nicholson. Like her videos are incredible. She just did like a 2.5 video about 2.5 hour video about the Vampire Diaries, which is amazing. If you haven't seen it,
I need to watch that.
Yeah, it's very good. And she also recently, like within the last few months, she did this video about like BronyCon and like brony culture. I'm telling you, it's riveting. I was able to get Kate was even like into it. She was just like, this is fascinating. Like just like that's having awesome. Someone like so like she's incredible. So go watch her stuff too.
That's awesome.
Lindsay Ellis does like really cool media analysis also.
And it's also funny too because like I'll like with me like my thing is like I love video games. I'm a game. I'm a gamer. You know, whatever connotation you want to put on the word gamer, but like. I find that I spend more time watching people play video games on YouTube than I do playing video games myself these days. I'll watch Markiplier all day. Yeah. You know?
I don't do that. I watch a lot of Twitch and like people are like playing video games in the background while they talk. That's kind of my niche there. But what I watch is people like with like these 2-hour like video essays about video games. So not all of them are that long. There's this guy named Jacob Geller. I've been meaning to turn you on to this guy forever because I think you'd love his content. Okay. He does like the artsiest video game critiques of all time, and they are just fucking phenomenal. They're so good. Then you have guys like Noah Caldwell-Gervais. He does like these like super long form ones. There's another guy who's in the process of doing like this Witcher series. And like the first video was like 3.5 hours long, and then the second video was like 4.5 hours long. And that was just about The Witcher 1 and Witcher 2. So I don't even want to know how long his Witcher 3 video is going to be. It's Jacob Anderson.
A 9-hour odyssey.
Yeah, his name's Jacob Anderson, I believe. And they're really good. Like he knows like the lore. He's read the books. Like it's all like really in-depth analysis about the games, the stories, like what works about the game mechanically and what doesn't. Like just like like dissertations about like these video games, which I find fascinating.
And then like on the other end of the spectrum, somebody that we both like that's like it's still very good, but like Naked Jakey, and like people like that. I love those.
I would really like to see Naked Jakey try to like take on like a longer video like that.
Did you watch his video about Last of Us 2?
Yes, I really enjoyed it.
That was like I feel like that was like a peek into what he could do with like a longer form, like heavily researched video. I think Jake is great.
Yeah, I think he would do a really good job at stuff like that. Not that like these guys need critiques from us. Like we're
right, exactly. Like we're spectators. Like they're doing great.
Jakey, I think you should try.
Yeah, Jake's doing a fucking long form.
But then like another guy I think would be like really good at that is Donkey, and like he's like Donkey, really like in like his niche, and I love his niche. So like Donkey never get away from it. But like I think he's another guy that like, and it was funny. Like his opinion on The Last of Us 2 was kind of the complete opposite for Naked Jakey's. But like both of those videos, or like both of their like thoughts on it, like really brought a lot to the table, especially amidst like a bunch of just like trash. Like you have like Angry Video Game Nerd or like Angry Joe, whatever his name is, just like throwing his controller with. And it's just like, okay, like
whatever. Yeah.
I don't like want you. Like, why am I watching this angry man play this video game? But like when you're able to like bring an actual like critical analysis to it, it's like I don't know. There's a lot of really good content like that on YouTube. Yeah, but I need to send you some Jacob Geller videos because he is just
please do.
He is so good. I love every one of his videos. I'm obsessed with.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing too, and this is something that I'll probably talk about like later on, like a different video, because I kind of want to like chronicle this journey. Is that like, and it's something that you identify with as well, is that like TikTok. I was randomly on TikTok at like 12:30 in the morning, and I saw this video. It was just like, here's some things that might be happening to you if you have ADHD. And that made me like do some reading, and now I'm going to a specialist to see if I have ADHD. Oh yeah, man. And it's just like the internet is a fucking miracle. Yeah. And like we said, what like all this shit about like all the bad stuff and all the trash that happens on the internet,
which definitely exists.
Blah, blah, blah. But like the fact that like all this stuff can happen, all these people can be connected, all of this stuff can happen on the internet is a fucking miracle. And if not for the internet, I wouldn't have met one of my favorite people in the world. No. And that is Tyler.
Oh, I need you to go check your front door.
You need me to check my front door?
Yeah, go check your front door.
Okay. Interesting. Whoa! Okay. Ow. Fuck. I ran into my door. What the fuck is this, dude?
I got Chelsea to help me out. So,
Should I? Is there like a should I just go for it? Just open it?
Let me talk to you first. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as we've discussed in this, and as you know, I'm going to be getting married in December. And I know that you've been waiting for me to ask you to be in the wedding. You know, we've talked about it a few times. He's been very impatient about it.
It's been a couple months. It's been a couple months since I've asked.
Yeah, it has. He's been very good. But you mean a lot to me. You're one of my best friends, as we talked about this. And I want you to be more than just like in my wedding. I was wondering if you would do the honor of being my best man in my wedding. This upcoming December.
I mean, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Of course, man.
So this was all kind of a ruse, by the way.
Oh, God.
But I wanted you to be able to... I was talking to Chelsea, and we kind of came up with this idea. You've been really doing a good job with all this YouTube stuff. And I wanted you to be able to kind of like record this moment and be able to do what you will with it, whether you put it online or whether you just kind of keep it for yourself. I just wanted you to be able to have it. So open your gift.
All right, let me open this gift. Yo! my God. So we talked about wrestling. For those who don't know, Eddie motherfucking Guerrero, Latino Heat, is my favorite wrestler of all time. And these are some fucking badass kicks.
I used your video about the Spider-Man shoes. I had to like pause it to try to find your shoe size, so I hope they fit. It's the biggest ones they sell. But even if you don't wear it.
And a bottle of I'm gonna fucking wear the shit out of these, dude. And a bottle of Prosecco. Oh, man. I fucking love you, dude. You're... Fuck. Yeah, fucking Carson, be your goddamn best man. God! Ah! Well, on that note, I was going to end the video.
I know.
And this seems like a really good time to fucking do it. And I think my battery is about to die, so it's the perfect timing. I love you, dude.
I love you more.
All right. Well, thank you for being a part of this internet.
As you can see, I think I caught him off guard, guys.
A little off guard. Woo! All right. Well, fucking bye, I guess.